The 2012-13 Miami Heat went 66-16. They won 27 straight games, they won the championship, and they did it with three of the most talented players ever assembled on one roster. This is where they were then, and where life took them now. LeBron James, just 28 years old in 2013, winning his second ring and his fourth MVP, playing the best basketball of his already legendary career. Now 41 in 2026, still suiting up for the Los Angeles Lakers, still scoring 20 a night, still refusing to let the game end without him. Dwyane Wade was 31, the heartbeat of Miami, the man this dynasty was built around, playing in his hometown with everything on the line. Now 44, a Hall of Famer, a minority owner of the Utah Jazz, and still the most beloved figure in Heat history. Chris Bosh was 29, the quiet anchor of the Big Three, the man who sacrificed everything to make those two championships possible. Now 41, a Hall of Famer who in early 2026 revealed he had collapsed with no warning and woke up covered in his own blood. He's still here, still standing, still one of the most underappreciated players of his generation. Ray Allen was 37, already a legend, already the all-time three-point king, but about to hit the most important shot in Heat history off that corner in Game 6. Now 50, a Hall of Famer, and the owner of a moment so clutch that Heat fans still can't watch it without holding their breath. Mario Chalmers was 27, the starting point guard who talked back to LeBron James and somehow got away with it because even LeBron knew Rio had earned that right. Now 39, retired and remembered as one of the most fearless role players of the championship era. Norris Cole was 24, the rookie guard who played every single minute like he knew how fast it could all disappear. Now 37, retired after chasing the game across leagues and continents, but carrying a 2013 championship ring wherever he goes. Shane Battier was 34, the defensive genius who guarded the best player on every opposing team and somehow made it look effortless. Now 47, a minority owner of the Tampa Bay Rays, a Duke board member, and the living proof that the smartest guy on the floor builds the longest career after it. Udonis Haslem was 33, the captain, the enforcer, the soul of Miami Heat culture when things got hard. Now 45, retired after spending all 20 of his NBA seasons with one city, one team, one jersey. Nobody in the history of this league has ever been more loyal. Mike Miller was 33, the shooter who played Game 7 of the finals on what looked like a broken body and still knocked down threes that had no business going in. Now 46, passing that warrior mentality onto the next generation through coaching and mentorship. Joel Anthony was 30, the center nobody put on a poster but every opponent feared in the paint, the kind of player coaches build defenses around quietly. Now 43, retired, living proof that you don't need a highlight reel to be indispensable. Rashard Lewis was 33, a veteran who took a pay cut and a smaller role just to have one shot at a ring. Now 46, retired and forever, the guy who proved that letting go of your ego sometimes gets you everything you were chasing. Chris Anderson. Birdman was 34, all tattoos and wingspan and pure chaotic energy off that bench, turning quiet arenas into something electric the moment he checked in. Now 47, living privately, far from the spotlight, but impossible to forget if you watch that team play. Juwan Howard was 40, a 16-year NBA veteran lending his experience and presence to a roster that was hungry to win again. Now 53, a college head coach himself because some players don't just leave the game, they hand it down. Dexter Pittman was 24, a big body providing depth in the front court before being traded to Memphis mid-season. Now 36, retired, one of the youngest pieces of a championship puzzle that changed the league forever. Josh Harrelson was 24, a shot-blocking center who got his moment on a championship roster before being released early in the season. Now 37, retired, but forever part of the 2012-13 Miami Heat story. Jarvis Varnado was 23, signed to a 10-day contract, a young shot blocker just trying to hold his spot on the greatest roster in the Eastern Conference. Now 36, retired after chasing the game abroad, carrying a ring from a team that needed every single man in that locker room. Terrell Harris was 25, released in January before the championship run was complete, one of the players who never got to hold that trophy at the end. Now 38, retired, A reminder that every championship team has names the highlights never find. Erik Spoelstra. Erik Spoelstra was 42, already a back-to-back champion, already proving every doubter wrong, already building one of the most respected coaching legacies in modern basketball. Now 55 in 2026, still the head coach of the Miami Heat, the longest-tenured active head coach across all 4 major North American sports leagues. The doubters are gone. He's still here. Bob McAdoo. Bob McAdoo was 61, a Hall of Fame player turned trusted assistant, bringing championship pedigree into that coaching staff every single day. Now 74, retired from the sidelines, but a legend in every room he walks into. David Fizdale. David Fizdale was 38, absorbing everything in that staff, learning the craft of coaching beside some of the best minds in basketball. Now 51, a head coaching veteran himself, shaped in large part by what he watched and built during those Miami years. Ron Rothstein. Ron Rothstein was 71, a former NBA head coach himself, bringing decades of defensive knowledge to Spoelstra's staff as a trusted assistant. Now 84, retired from the sidelines, one of the quietest but most experienced minds in that championship building. Now I want to hear from you. Drop it in the comments. Which player from this roster do you think never got the credit they deserved? Not LeBron, not Wade. Who else? Because I have a feeling we're going to disagree. And if this video gave you that feeling, you know the one. Hit the like button. Not for me, for them. And if you want more of this every week, subscribe and bring somebody who still remembers where they were when Ray Allen hit that corner 3.